Yeah, so super excited to walk you through the new HubSpot and Pod integration. We're very excited that this is launched. And essentially, to give you a high level overview of what we're building here at Pod, we're an AI coaching solution for full cycle sellers, guiding them on the best actions to take to help increase deal velocity and prevent things from getting stuck in the middle of the funnel. What we find a lot of AEs struggle with is sometimes they lack the guidance and the know-how on, certain things like what deals to prioritize, how to optimize their buying committee, making sure they're talking to the right people, they're doing it in a meaningful way, and being prepared, for every single call that they go into, before and afterwards, and what actions to take to push the deal forward. So that's what we're trying to tackle here. So very excited to show you how that all works today.
Great.
Yeah. So this is Pod. And when you're logged in, it's very simple to sign up. Literally takes under a minute. You simply go to the site, you sign up, you log in with your HubSpot credentials. It's a bi-directional sync. And then you're also going to connect your email and your favorite call recording tool. So that could be a Gong, for example. And what Pod is going to do is it synthesizes the data across all of those sources. So your email, your CRM, your calendar, your call recorders, LinkedIn, and it's going to pull all of that together. And the first thing that I do in Pod, let's say it's Monday morning, it's 8 a.m. I want to go in here and I want to understand, where should I be spending my time today, this week, this month, and so on. So what Pod does is it synthesizes all of that data, and it's going to tell you, hey, maybe I'm working on 30, 40 deals at a time. Here's my top 5. Okay, why is this my top 5? This is a great view for both reps and managers to take advantage of, so that they can have much more thoughtful one-on-ones instead of it turning into more of a data entry session, just kind of looking at CRM and going through and increasing their data hygiene.
Right.
So understanding here that, okay, this deal is marked really good because it's progressing really fast from stage to stage in my funnel compared to other deals that are similar to it. Maybe I have a lot of engagement across, a pretty good sized buying committee, and their sentiment is pretty positive. On the flip side of that, Pod is also going to show me what deals I have that are at risk that also need some of my attention. They're stalling. Maybe my sentiment across my buying committee is starting to trend in the downward direction. So again, very crystal clear view on where I should be maximizing my efforts and my time across all the deals in my pipeline. And we find that that's really that first piece that separates your President's Club sellers from, your more B and C players that kind of hit or miss on getting to quota or not. So the first thing I'm going to do when looking at this deal is we go off of your historical trends. So Pod is going to compare the deals you're working on now to ones that have been won or lost in the past at your organization that are similar to it in size, services you're selling them, location, industry, so on and so forth. And it's actually going to recommend stakeholders that you should loop into your deal. That's the first piece of kind of optimizing your buying committee, understanding, am I talking to the right people? So if I can see here, I'm talking to Natalie and Johnny. And of course, this is pulling from HubSpot. So these are similar deals. These are contacts I have assigned to the deal. But then Pod is going to tell me, hey, Harrison, if you loop in an SVP of operations for deals similar to the one you're working now, your close won rate goes up a lot. So maybe I want to do that. I click on that. We pull the information from LinkedIn. So anyone with that title with a little synopsis of what they do, and I'm able to click add. It'll add them into Pod, which then will add them into the deal on HubSpot as well. It syncs not only your historical deal data, but at the whole organization level.
Oh, wow.
So it'll prioritize deals you've worked first, but then it'll go through for all of them. You can actually do that here. So you can see all deals you have in progress, deals that have won, deals that have lost. I always recommend doing all, but it'll prioritize ones you've worked on first and then go down the list from there. But it does go org wide. And then the next piece after understanding, okay, am I talking to the right people, is making sure, am I talking to them about the right stuff? When selling into enterprise, for example, or even mid-market, it can be incredibly challenging, because buying committees get bigger and bigger every year, it feels like. You might be talking to someone in IT, you might be talking to somebody in procurement, the economic buyer, could be a C-suite, you're talking to your frontline manager, so on and so forth. And they all have different challenges. They all have different concerns. They all have different goals, things that they care about. It's not a one-size-fits-all model. So
Right.
knowing how to uniquely position your offering to every single person involved in your deal is crucial for success. So as you can see here, I have these overall sentiment scores. So for a couple of them, it's very positive. Looks like one of them is negative. And then for my economic buyer, it's actually neutral. So maybe I want to understand, okay, what is going on with my economic buyer? So I can click on what are his concerns. Pod will synthesize data and give me some high level bullet points on things that he mentioned he was concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
I can see what he was really excited about based on previous conversations, emails, so on and so forth. And then what did we discuss were the next steps, the action items that maybe I need to do on my end or that he needs to do on his end to help increase the velocity and make sure that this doesn't get stuck in limbo.
Mm-hmm. Great. And does the contact sentiment, does it update like once weekly or once daily or every time there's an update, to sync?
It's real time. Anytime there's a new email, anytime, for example, if you're using Gong and you have a call, and once the Gong transcript recording is ready, it'll update in Pod automatically. It's instant. So and then the final piece here for really diving into specific accounts is we map to your favorite sales methodology. So that's MedPick, BANT, Challenger, you name it. We can also build custom frameworks for organizations that have their own unique one that they use, that they've built out internally. So Pod is going to show me here what's been covered, what hasn't been covered, or even what's partially been covered. And then it'll actually provide me with actionable next steps to take. So it'll provide a summary and then next steps I can take to push the deal forward. And there's a lot of other great little fun things that Pod has to offer. I think that the final two things I'll show you is making sure that you're prepared for every call. Historically, I can't tell you how many times if I had a big negotiation call coming up or an executive briefing with like a lot of stakeholders, I might spend hours going back and listening to my call recordings, going back and reading all my emails and, all my notes that I have within HubSpot.
Yeah.
Now I can simply go into here on my calendar view, which Pod syncs with. I can open what we call our meeting brief. And so what Pod is going to do is it's going to give me a lot of great insight ahead of the call. This is saving me literally hours a week. So it'll give me attendee highlights, which is going to show the sentiment score. It'll also show me what to discuss. So it'll give me about 10 topics of conversation. This can be if I'm missing pieces from my sales methodology. It can be if, based on objections that were discussed on previous calls or action items or things we were going to follow up on. You can even send AI prep emails in advance, highlighting some of those things that you want to discuss to make sure there's alignment going into the call. Everyone gets the best use of the time. And even little things like knowing your attendees, like understanding little conversation starters. So I know, for example, here that this person recently went on a vacation in Europe and they like to attend LinkedIn Live events. I can ask them about that at the start of the call, continue to build trust and rapport.
Right. I love that. So this goes way beyond like the standard, just storing your data kind of CRM stuff. This is awesome.
Exactly. Our whole mission here is to help. There's a lot of tools for efficiency out there to help sellers. We're really about effectiveness. How are you really maximizing every single deal in your pipeline? Everything from A to Z, what to prioritize, making sure you're optimizing your buying committee, and then knowing exactly what to talk about ahead of each call.